All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. We are back. We don't know where it cut off, so we may repeat ourselves. We were patting ourselves on the back for the first podcast, how well we did. And we got views all over the place, and we were diving in with Anthony Queuington. You guys are going to know him as Flying Ant if you subscribe to his YouTube channel, and you should if you haven't. Also, you'll know him as Skywolf, right? On the forums, isn't that right, Anthony?
Yeah, on Hobby Squawk and Skywolf.
On Hobby Squawk, and what about RC Grooves?
Same, Skywolf.
Skywolf. Yeah, you got so many aliases, man. You don't know what.
Well, that's kind of a funny story because for some reason I tried to do Flying Ant and it wouldn't accept it, so I had to make up a name on the fly. So that one just stuck.
I get it. You know, I think I knew nothing about the internet when I got into RC planes, and one of the first things I ever did for an account was RC Groups. And I'm Rye Ram, capital Z, Rye Rams. Everybody says Rye Rams, but I'm thinking Ryan Ramsey, kind of. I didn't know. And so I've been that forever, and I haven't changed it. But anyway, so, hey, comment your handle in the Facebook stream. Let's see in the comments what your handle is on RC Groups, everybody, because sometimes you have different handle on different forums and platforms, so it's kind of cool to see what you got. Anyway, so jumping back in, Anthony and I really met last year officially when the 114 Aero Squadron in Grapevine, Texas was getting ready to host an event that they do every year, which is a fantastic, we'll talk more about this with Dave Hawker when we have him on closer to the event, but long story short, they raised money for kids of fallen soldiers. And so they take these kids to fantastic vacation destinations and really boost the morale. And all these kids and wives and whoever's left gets to know that they're not alone. So Anthony made a video with the club that invited Captain Mike and myself and the whole force that is Motion RC to come represent, draw a crowd, and perhaps donate some items to raise money for that show. And I got to tell you, we get asked a lot of questions and frequently, and Anthony's video was so good, you just couldn't say no, and we didn't want to, and it was a great cause, and it's the kind of stuff we're all about at Motion RC. So, long story short, that's how I met Anthony, and we've been brothers from another mother ever since. Your turn. Lay it on me, man. Anthony came and met us at the airport and everything, man. It was cool.
Yeah, it was a time when we had no idea that Motion RC would even say yes. We thought, what the heck? Let's just give it a shot, because we all know and love Motion RC. They are the place to go to, and we promote it like we own it. So why not ask? But we knew it would be a good fit because, as you said earlier, I've known you longer than you've known me, because I've watched you since the inception. One of my, I think the first day that Motion opened its doors, I bought a plane from you guys. Man, the service was just so impeccable. The first day I got the box, and inside it was a little note that said thank you from, I forget who it was, I think it was Dave or something like that. Somebody's name was on there. And that just blew me away. And so the more I started to study the company and realized that it was veteran owned, it was owned by guys who really are RC pilots and who wanted better customer service, it just made so much sense to them. And the more that I started to order from them, the more I realized how into customer service Motion RC was. I had an issue one night with a plane. I couldn't figure it out. So I filled out a little deal online, and next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call. But it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
It must have been Alpha.
It was Alpha. I couldn't believe
it. Nobody Alpha. Yeah, no sleep. He's a vampire.
I know he probably doesn't remember that because he's had so many of those, I'm sure. But I said to him, man, did you ever sleep? And he says, nope, hardly ever. And I thought, wow, now that is customer service. He talked to me on the phone and walked me right through what I needed. So I knew this was the company that was very serious. So yeah, when we put together that video, they just said, hey, why don't we call them and ask them? I said, why don't we do something better? Let's tell them exactly what we're doing. What better way to do it than to put together a video and show them really how much they mean to us. So we got together with a bunch of pilots who had ordered planes from Motion and did a bunch of shoots and used, I think, about 3 or 4 of them. But it was just incredible. But yeah, we really wanted you there. We wanted Mike there. We didn't know James at the time, obviously, but we wanted to try to get Alpha too. But I knew that was a long shot. So yeah, Alpha did stay incognito and say, well, I can't make it this time. I'm over in China. And say, yeah, okay, I know we'll never see your face, will we? Yeah. But it was just amazing to think that when I got the response back, that it was a yes, but not realizing how much of an emphatic yes it would be. You guys responded with so much more than we ever imagined. We just wanted your presence. We weren't really expecting anything, but this is a time that was the right time to get Motion's name out there. So they thought, let's jump all in and get Motion's name out there. So, and we really wanted to promote Texas. So this will be the 2nd year we're doing it, and not sure what the involvement, to what level Motion RC would do, but people are excited about you being there. They're excited about Mike being there. They're excited about Motion being a part of it this year. So last year was kind of on the whim. We had a month to put it together as far as advertising, knowing telling you guys are going to be there. But this year, a little bit more coverage. So we're hoping that today is going to be a different day. And everybody's looking forward to you guys coming. I get texts all the time and calls all the time saying, hey, Mike and Ryan coming back. I'm going to be there this year. Guys that didn't get to make it last year. And they're planning to be there. So that's so cool. So you got to come to Texas.
Yes, come to Grapevine and stay tuned to all the outlets for promotion of the event, when and where and times. And we're going to get Dave Hawker on here, the Hawk. He really leads the charge on this, doesn't he, Anthony? I mean, you were his right-hand man, as far as I know. And we'll get him on here talking too, because I know he's got plenty to say, and he really works hard to put that show together. And what a great cause! So
yeah, it is.
We're doing it again. We can't wait. It's going to be so fun. And last year I was sick as a dog. Y'all didn't know, but I was bad off. If it wasn't for your show, I'd have stayed home. I was bad off, but we had a blast.
You didn't fly like you were sick.
Thanks. I tell you what, man, the flying was great, but I tell you, the community and the camaraderie after the show, getting out of the heat and having dinner with y'all was fantastic.
Yeah.
I look forward to that again. So you mentioned first plane you bought for Motion RC.
Mm-hmm.
So was that your first RC plane ever?
No, it wasn't my first plane ever. When I first started, how I got involved in RC was I was up late one night, couldn't sleep, and I was going through it was some sort of magazine or something, and I saw an ad or an article, just a little sales ad for it might have been online for RC flying, and of course I grew up flying real airplanes, but was always interested in RC. But back in the day when I was looking at it, it was just out of my touch. I mean, it's just so expensive to deal with that. Never knowing about electric or ever knowing about foam planes, stuff like that. But it was an article for Banana Hobby at the time, and so I of course Googled Banana Hobby and went online and discovered Pete. Everybody knew Pete at the time, and I mean I stayed up till I think it was like 4:30 in the morning just watching videos. And I thought, man, I've got to do that. So my very first plane was actually a jet, not knowing any better. I bought a little 64 millimeter jet. And before I knew it, I had 12 planes in my hangar and didn't even know how to fly yet. Just got involved with buying planes, and just to look at them was a cool thing. And that's as you see as you mentioned in the video that I did with Ben. Ben is the one I actually met at a float fly, and he's the one that got me flying up and running. And of course, a lot of crashing too. But when I really got into it was when I started to, kind of slow down on Banana, because the customer service, as was a big deal, which is really, in my opinion, how Motion was born, because of some of the problems that were out there from that company. Because everybody wanted to love Banana. Everybody did, because we all love Pete. But my real first sport plane actually came from Motion. I gave it a shot and bought the Critical Mass. Was
that your first Motion plane, the Critical Mass?
Critical Mass, yeah, Critical Mass.
Did the Critical Mass kick your critical
Actually, it was faster than I thought it was. And it was a sport plane, but it was sweet. It was a sweet plane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was actually my first plane. I think I bought some parts and stuff like that for some existing planes that I had. But Banana was still. Motion was still new, so they didn't have a whole lot online yet. But what they had was just, it just made you want to buy it all.
Well, the Rock Hobby being a new line from FMS, which was a known company, I thought was very exciting because if you were hanging out on the groups very long, there were a lot of little, every now and then on the forums somebody'd spam the forums, and they got a little online shop, and that's cute. Pat them on the head, and you'll see them never again because it's tough out there. Right. You just got to do it right, and you just have to, I think, really know what you're doing. And this stuff, it's not cheap to buy container fulls and have a warehouse for it. So you're not just screwing around. So they definitely, we've talked about this before. There was definitely a need. There was a hole, and there was really nowhere to go where you could really trust the support you were getting other than Horizon. They were the only ones I feel like had the reputation for good product support and phone service at the time. But I was super excited by the fact that brand new, who are they? And they got Rock Hobby by FMS. To me, that was the most promising little glimmer of hope there was, because it's like, okay, if they're doing this exclusive line out of nowhere by FMS, it speaks to them having some kind of relationship. So hopefully these FMS planes are going to be coming online sometime soon as well, which it's about time someone have them that knows how to do it right. And that was what prompted me to reach out really at the very beginning, was that same critical mass plane. Because before video, I was a magazine guy, and I reached out because I wanted that exclusive for magazine, because here's Rock Hobby, brand new line, and a new company is just like super cool. So critical mass, what's funny, I don't remember if we ever talked about that before, but that's another connection me and you got, the critical mass kind of thing.
Well, what's funny is Ben and I have a nickname for it, because we started, I don't know if we started having problems with the plane or if it was us. It was probably us. But after the first couple of crashes, we started calling it the critical smash.
Critical smash.
So that's the new nickname for it.
One thing I didn't know at the time when I was doing the critical mass, what's funny? I mean, we all love these planes, right? They all each have their own thing, really. Some have some similar things, but the critical mass, just like a Sea Fury, which it is, really.
Right.
They all fly great. I never had a good time landing them until I figured out what to do.
Exactly.
I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like down stick at all on approach. I'm just born holding it off. Like I want the stick in my gut and hold it off. So until I had the Flightline RC Sea Fury and started playing with elevator and flat mix, I didn't enjoy it, Mm-hmm. So once I got the down mix going, where I know what I want from an approach, and you can make it happen. You got to, and that's how it felt. Like the critical mass and the Sea Fury before I dealt with the mix seemed to never want to come down, like one of those floaty deals, which at the end of a awesome flight is always kind of a letdown. So at the time, I mean, a lot of you guys have seen my whole journey. Really, I haven't been doing this 10 years yet. So 5 of it y'all have seen, and the rest of it, I was a new guy. I've been I think we're all new guys, kind of always. And I think you should kind of think like that, so you're always able to learn something.
Right.
But it's funny. You'll look back and you're like, wow, I thought I knew something 2 years ago, right? Like you'll look back at this moment 2 years from now and you'll be like, man, I thought I knew what was up. And it's like, nope, something's going to teach you. Sometimes it teaches you hard. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and you're right. The critical mass did that because not only on approach but also on takeoff. You know, that tail wheel goes up, but the plane's still planted, so you're actually going down the runway, and it was teaching you really how to fly a plane of that sort. And to come in for a landing, you land almost the same way that you took off. I mean, that tail's up in the air, and the plane is just straight. Yeah. And yeah, it did teach you how to fly that plane. And so when I got into the Strega next, after that line, I was pretty much ready to go. But I love that plane. I have the Strega now, and that thing, I just love that thing.
Strega is awesome.
It is. I hate to get rid of it though.
Yeah, dude. Is it gone?
It's gone. Yeah. I think. Well, you know, you mentioned Horizon, who took over FMS. Unfortunately, I guess I can say unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like they're getting rid of that line. Most of the rock hobby lineups are discontinued.
Is that right?
Yeah. So the Strega's gone. The who's the other? The Wacko, I believe, is gone. I looked online the other day. I accidentally. Now here's what's funny. The day that you posted that video, or actually James posted it, of you guys at Jet Jam, and your ailerons were reversed. You remember that one?
Uh-huh. I can never forget. It's like it's every podcast in the last like 3 weeks. It's been
exactly. I'm sure you weren't planning on that one. But that same day that posted, I did the same thing. I put a new receiver in my Strega, and I could have sworn that the ailerons were the right way. I could have sworn it, but I was looking at the plane backwards. I took that baby off, and I hit full throttle. You know, that thing is fast.
Yeah.
I took that baby off, and next thing I know, it rolled. I was like, what the? And it hit the ground, and that was the end of that one. So I get online, and there's no Stregas to be found anywhere.
Oh, no.
So I get online with Motion, and they say, nope, discontinued. We got to move it over to the discontinued section. Sorry, we just hadn't done it yet. So I'm searching and searching. Finally found one in a box here locally. The last one in Dallas.
Whoa.
So I have a brand new Strega. I will be coming.
Nice. It's kind of scary thinking about getting parts for something that's not being supported anymore.
Yeah, well, they I see that on Horizon and on I think I saw it on Motion too, but at Hobbytown they have a crate coming in, so apparently they still have parts for it coming, I guess. So nice. I guess they're gonna support it for a minute. Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
If you can find a Strega, go get it.
Go get it. Hang on to it, because Anthony's gonna need one in a little bit.
No, my ailerons will be right from now on.
Oh my goodness.
That is such a rookie mistake, but boy, anybody can make it. It is a rookie mistake. Me and Alpha 10 on the forums, I should call him Mr. Hop Ups, man. He had a lot of spunky jets at Jet Jam, man. They were awesome. Right. Dude really, like, out of the box puts like some hot setups in them. Like, totally cool. Like, great guy, man. Great bunch of dudes. Yeah, it was great to meet those guys online. Yeah.
Oh man, and it's what's so cool is finally getting to put a name to a face. You know, right. After so long. And actually, one of the first shows where it hit me a little bit, because I live in a bubble. The impact of what we do, like you tell me all the time, and some of my close friends are like, man, people love you and Mike, and everybody knows you. So one of the first times that really hit me over the head was actually in Texas with you guys, you know, and the fact that you asked us in the first place. But yeah, so yeah, me and him poured over that plane, and I'm a day early to the event because I want to shake this thing down, and I just can't wait to fly on 800 feet of pavement, you know. Right. And then here's the Tiger meet, finally easier to see, and it's got the hot setup, and it's supposed to just like high alpha, like nearly hover like crazy. And I didn't get a chance. So
well, you got higher than I did.
Yeah, well, you know, if you watch that video, it almost looked like I was going to save it for a minute.
It looked like it. Looked like you just have to think backwards.
It flew out of the shot, and then I'm back in, inverted, and I kind of thought maybe my elevator was reversed. It all happened so fast, so I'm inverted, and I'm thinking my elevator's reversed, and I dove.
Yeah.
Guess what happens?
Oh yeah.
You hit pretty hard. So George Baker's flying around in a tiger meat right now. That's a hybrid. It's that original tiger meat that I killed.
Yeah, that was cool to see him doing
And
that.
he fixed it with one of the old fuses and put them together, and now he's got a nice tiger meat. And I think he's got the RC Geek afterburner kit in it and some 3D printed like nozzle stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a video up on, I'm sure it's on his Facebook page, which is where you guys are watching the live stream right now. If not, there also on his YouTube channel, and probably James will probably put it on the motion stuff too, maybe the fan page. You seen that new initiative, Anthony?
Yeah, I love it.
Kind of customer submissions. It's so cool.
Love it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It definitely lends to the fact that we're going to see a lot more content.
A lot more content from everybody, and that's awesome.
Right.
Because I mean, it's just a whole community, and I think it's not been that. What I love about RC also as like a kind of social media, a little bit of a marketing. I have fun with that stuff. What's neat about RC is everybody's catching up. Like, there's been videos. Do you guys remember Jim Booker on Horizon Hobby?
Yeah.
I mean, these are the first RC videos I have ever seen.
Right.
And it's not that long ago. That's all there was. And now, look, so many guys are able to do good job filming their own flights or having buddies out there. We've got our pals over in Slovenia that apparently were inspired by us a little bit. Oh, yeah. Pilot Robert and Captain Blosh. I mean, goodness
Can't wait
sakes.
to meet those guys.
I love what they're doing, and I just it's cool if we were somehow played a part in their trajectory, because they're definitely to the moon. Hey, has Ben reached out to you? Is he getting close?
He has. He is on his way. He was packing up about 5 minutes ago. He's only literally 7 minutes from here, from my house. So
that's awesome.
He'll be here. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep ripping with you on some questions here.
Sure.
So we got your first motion plane was the Critical Mass.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get to your first plane ever? Did I ask you that yet?
Well, again, my first plane that I ever purchased was a see if I can remember the lineup. It was a red Diamondback 64 millimeter jet.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And I had no idea how to fly a plane ever, so I didn't know what I was doing. Thinking I could fly this thing. Sure, I've flown real planes before. Sure, it should be a piece of cake.
Was that Arctech? Who made that thing?
It was Arctech. You're right. It was Arctech.
Man,
Sure was.
I got quite a memory. Okay. I
was
totally
Arctech.
Man, when I first got into RC, there was an article about that thing in Park Pilot magazine or something. Okay, cool.
So yeah, that's the one that I bought because that's what was in the ad when I first. Oh, that was a good ad right there. Very nice promo. So that was the article that I found, was an ad for Banana Hobby, and it was promoting their red diamond. There you go. There you go. There's your promo right there. And so that's how I ended up with the Arctech jet, which of course I didn't fly because Ben told me there's no way you're gonna fly that thing. We're gonna start the way you should. And
that's so fun.
So he started me off with the little champ. And, yeah. So everybody should start with that plane, in my opinion.
Man, that's what we did.
So light. Yeah, it's just so easy, so light, and very, very easy to fly. But you got to get your bearings, and that's what helped me get my bearings, and work my way up from there. So yeah, in the video that we just did with Ben, it's kind of a reverse return of a favor now. So we started him off with a small plane.
I love that.
Got him back in it. Yeah.
The champ Mike and I did those flight lessons with the champ.
With the champ, yeah.
A long time ago. And I actually, somebody messaged me on Instagram, which is a great place to connect with me at @the_Pilot Ryan, by the way, because I'm hot on it and I'm there every day doing stuff. It's a little harder to go make videos for our original, channel, which we call Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike's RC right now, just because more people know Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike than RC Air Training Command at this point.
Right.
So it's harder to connect there because when we do have time to make videos, we're making them for motion. But so I think it was a mother or a father messaged me today, talked about the child being completely enraptured in model planes, getting ready to get their first one, can't get enough. And I dropped the playlist, the link to the playlist. Like, they're not our best work because I feel like they're a little bit, I don't know, maybe I talk faster now or something, but I think the content in those lessons is pretty okay.
Right.
Because here we are with the Champ, but we want you to treat it like it's a $300 plane. So when you finally do move up and get into a bigger one, you're good to go. You've already practiced that mindset, really.
Right.
Because I think when you're flying and you're learning, you learn the hard way unless you think about it ahead of time.
Right.
You think the sky is infinite, and you just don't plan out a flight path,
Right.
because I showed you this is fun, like wee, but really, and it seems kind of boring sometimes. But we made a handful of Mike and I did those videos because we had taught a few people in person, like at the club, the same kind of lessons we did on video, which was just like fly the Champ, treat it like a big plane, give yourself a flight path, all this kind of stuff. If you guys want to check it out, or somebody's trying to learn how to fly, go check out that playlist, training videos, I believe it's called, or something, on the Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike RC YouTube channel. There's a couple playlists there. I also have a playlist that's a bunch of vintage World War II training films, which is fantastic actually for learning maneuvers and also seeing cool old school World War II planes in action. And those come from everywhere. That's the beauty of a playlist, is you don't have to put out that content yourself.
Right.
It just is out there.
All right, moving around a little bit so I can get plugged in here.
All right, move around a little bit. And then I'm going to ask you some more questions while we wait on Ben to show up.
All right, it should be in a few minutes.
What I really enjoyed last night on the YouTube show was the live aspect where I could see comments and questions coming in. Right now, while you're getting situated, I'm going to check out and see if I can't find some kind of activity on the Tired Iron Facebook page, because that's where it's at right now.
Right. So you do that, I'm going to grab
cool, man. It's there. I see it. Yeah, I hear you, George. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the video now on and it's behind. Man, there's 67 comments, bro. If you have a question, I call. Yeah, I'm looking at the video now on that's weird. I'm not trying. I have my volume down, dude. I'm sorry. And there's 67 comments. Let me turn this off. Man, I want to see those comments so bad. Anybody can direct message me too right now, because that doesn't make any sound. If you want to direct message me on Instagram. So, yeah, George, thanks for moderating and hosting this right now. And if there are any questions, let me know. We are in our number 2 podcast, RC Pilots Lounge. We're going to get this thing really dialed in so it's super interactive, because one of my main ideas about this podcast is to have everyone. What's up, Chris? What's going on?
Nothing.
It's bedtime.
It's bedtime. Yeah, school tomorrow, man. My kids are already asleep. I had to put them to bed early so I could get down here and talk to my dudes.
All right, good night, Chris.
See you later, partner. Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about.
Dad first.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's where it's at. I mean, a lot of us, I'm sure, started maybe. That's what's so neat about this too. I love everybody's story. But yeah, so those of you who are hanging out with us, I'm sorry I can't see your comments right now. That's one of my favorite things. If you want to get a glimpse of what I think this podcast is going to vibe like in the future, check out the YouTube live from last night. It wasn't very organized in the way of a podcast where there's the questions and the two-way street, but I had the greatest time engaging with all of you while I was watching your comments pop up. And my goal is for this thing to be like super interactive. So we'll get there, guys. This is your show as much as it is mine. I'm going to try to moderate this thing and keep things moving. For now, I need tremendous amounts of help. So, George Baker, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, man. So, okay, let's keep going with the questions while we wait for Ben to show up. So, Anthony, question 3. What was the last airplane you flew?
Oh, wow. So just
you can't fudge on this one. It just is what it is.
Just the other day. Oh, this is a good one. Just the other day, the last plane I flew, I actually had an incident.
Is that right?
I was flying.
Look at Chris smiling.
I was rushing. We were at Texas Stadium Field, and I was rushing, trying to get that last flight in, and I did not check to make sure my canopy was on tight. And it is the version one FMS 1400 millimeter Trojan T-28.
Oh man,
I have the original version. Remember that one with the cow flaps that open up?
Yeah.
Sequence doors, and didn't realize my canopy was not on tight. And I'm up, man. I'm flying around. Next thing I know, I see what is that thing up there?
Yeah.
My canopy. And that thing does not like air coming in there. And I mean, it sucked it down. I tried to get it down, and just as I got above the runway, the air caught it and flipped it over and smashed right into the concrete. So my version 1 is no more. However, I do have replacement parts that I bought years ago just in case. I have the fuse, I have the cowl, I have the wings, I have the rudder, and the elevator. So everything's going to be replaced. So here soon we'll see an original version 1 redeemed.
Nice. Fantastic answer. Yeah. I'm glad I asked. And you know what, Trojans, I've really hardly met a bad one, but that size, that FMS Trojan, we've had, I think, every version of it, right. And worked it up. I remember working up one of our early videos, probably the second group of planes we ever got.
I remember that video.
Yeah, we were flying it off the grass, man, and that was cool. And then we did the gray one later, and then we did version 4, I believe it was, with the suspension. A little different motor and definitely different construction methods. You can tell it's been re-kitted, remolded. That version 4 is different. Right. They're using that EPO 52, I think, that different foam, and then I believe it's the 650 kV. 650
kV, yeah.
Motor in the newer one, but the 580 was never a slouch, and honestly, I preferred the gray one, which was like version 2, version 3. I put Dave Brown tires on it, no suspension, the suspension it's got to be solid or it's just fiddly. If you're about landing and stuff like that, then I am, and landing gear are a big thing for me. So I really, I had to have that version 4 because I was just wild about suspension, but really I like the early ones so much better.
Right.
Awesome.
Now, they've discontinued the version 4 as well, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing over there. I really don't.
It's funny. I could really say a lot, but if you don't have anything nice to say, you're supposed to keep it to yourself. And not that I have a whole bunch of vitriol, but I wonder if they know what they're doing too.
It's sad. I mean, I understand, that they do things sometimes, and I'm not going to talk bad about them because Horizon they're a good company. But you could definitely tell the difference when they took over FMS. All of a sudden, the prices went up on everything, and things just started disappearing. So I don't know if they're intentionally doing this for competition purposes or what, but it's kind of sad to watch it happen because there's some pretty good planes.
Absolutely. And I really have some favorite. I mean, everybody does. If you've been in this for a while, I mean, and I'm in a position where folks wonder what I think a little bit sometimes, but I mean, I have FMS planes, I have Flightline planes, I have everything. And I love some of my FMS stuff, like big time. Yeah. It's too bad. And the one thing about the hobby I love is how light it is and how full of joy it is.
No doubt.
So I try super hard, at least in a venue like this, to keep any of that industry, because I know too much or something.
Right.
It's crazy. Right. So yeah, we're going to leave that alone. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I know your position, but if there's a voice that can be had, I don't mind having it.
Go, baby.
because inquiring minds, your audience, they want to know. They did. We all talk about these things.
Yeah.
If we can talk about it, we can talk about it. But yeah, thus Flightline was born. I mean, what better way to bring about a line that people are enjoying?
Inevitable, and I think in some of that identity crisis, let's just say in air quotes, that you're talking about,
right?
I think probably hastened that, and that's been great for everyone. Everyone being the customer, the end user, the back end shenanigans and drama and business dealings, and let that for them,
Right.
Because some of that's not very fun. Ben, what's up?
fresh off the field.
Right? Did you go flying before you came over?
What? He said you go flying before you
came over. Did you go flying on your way in?
Yeah.
I can't believe. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Ben, ladies and gentlemen, Ben, what's your last name, man?
Gaston.
Yeah. Were you in Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, Gaston.
Oh,
yeah,
is that you?
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah, when I asked Siri to call Ben, she says, "Calling Ben Gaston."
So we've got Ben Gaston here. I met Ben when I was in Texas doing the Warbirds Over Grapevine with Anthony, and I think
that was fun.
That was super fun, and I'm so excited to do it again. And also, I think I really met you before I got to Warbirds Over Grapevine, because what I did after Anthony submitted that invitation video was binge watch all of Anthony's stuff.
Oh yeah.
And so I met a ton of you turkeys before I ever got there. And I want to urge everybody to check out Flying Ant's YouTube channel, man, because I always thought, Anthony, we talked about this. I think you have a spin, and I've actually been inspired by your style. And many, I've been kind of off the path. Check out all these other YouTubers and just online. I've just been
a great job though.
Consuming.
You definitely spun off.
Man, I feel pretty good. So,
well, I feel like I knew you before I actually met you just from watching all your videos, So that's pretty cool. I enjoy watching all of yours, all the new planes and everything coming out.
So Ryan didn't realize what a star he was.
Oh,
What'd you say?
See, you didn't realize what a star you were before.
Oh man, you guys are nice. I wouldn't know if you didn't tell me, because we all got regular jobs, right? And we're out here grinding, getting it done. But I really want to talk you up, man, on your channel right now, because really, guys, if you enjoy RC. What I really like about Anthony's channel is so many things, but the community aspect is totally there, because he's filming his buddies and maybe himself sometimes, or having somebody help film him, what I really struck me differently with your videos, I think they're very much more contemporary than what we see from maybe most RC dudes, because I call it the vlog style, which is a big thing in the rest of culture. You know, RC is kind of its own little island. It's this niche thing.
Right.
But you're consuming, you can tell, like, everything as well. And so anyhow, it's, first of all, you're easy to watch, fun to hang out with, and that's what happens on Anthony's videos. He starts rolling the camera when he's getting in the car. He's still got to drive to the field. So he's got cool B-roll going, music. He's talking. He's telling you. You're telling a great story, man. And then so you set the tone with your story, hanging out on the way there, and then you fly the thing. You either win or you lose, and you wrap it up, and it's just cool. I want everybody to go check you out. Mostly, I want everybody to check you out and blow your channel up, because I want to see more of your videos. And I think if
I'd be forced to make more videos, wouldn't I?
Real, if we could get some people over there, Flying Ant's YouTube channel. Am I saying that right? That's what it is.
Flying Ant, yeah.
It's just true. Flying Ant. Okay, cool. Facebook page for me, I have a link to his video that he shot with Ben the other day. I'm going to direct this thing quickly because we'll run out of time, man. If I don't just start for real, and I'm shooting on an hour. So because George, he's got to go to bed. George, Tired Iron Aviation, Ben is helping us host this thing. He's off camera. I need him. I need his help. So those guys are great at Tired Iron Aviation to let me stream on their Facebook group right now until I get this thing sorted. So I'm going to rip. So Ben, you taught Anthony how to fly. Is that right?
Not really. He
kind of, sort of, his
first. A little bit before we met.
No.
Okay. I couldn't remember, but I do remember driving home after meeting him at that float fly for the very first time. My wife was saying, "Well, he hasn't flown before or whatever." I said, "I think he has." She said, "No, he said he hasn't flown, but he has 12 planes." He had all these cool. He had EDFs, and he hadn't even flown before. He had all these cool planes, the F-18 and the Red Diamond they used to have, and all these cool planes, but he hadn't flown them.
That's
so, yeah. I mean, we had a Champ, little Hobby Zone Champ, and he flew that around and got good on that. And I hadn't flown much before. I mean, I had a Super Cub. That was my first plane. I'd flown that.
Oh yeah.
And he's just taking off from there. Now he has way more planes than I do, and a dedicated hangar, and he's got bigger, better stuff than I do. So, yeah.
Let me talk about you a minute then. So what's fun about Ben is I met him in Texas, and I knew him before just because of video like we were talking about. But Anthony, when you released that video, and it first of all, great title, a little bit clickbaity, but perfect.
A little bit.
Don't fly the perfect. Don't fly the F5. So let me set the stage a little bit because we're gonna rip, dude. We're down to like 10 minutes, right? And then whatever, I don't know, and then it's over. So Ben took a 2-year hiatus. He didn't fly for 2 years.
It was so sad.
Transmitter broke, and I remember telling Anthony, I was like, get that guy a transmitter. Let's crowdfund it, like whatever. So fast forward 2 years later. Come on, man! Don't ever break your radio again and go that long. But
I forgot how much fun it was.
It makes for a great story. So I'm gonna rip through this video for those who haven't seen it. You first flight in 2 years was what? The Park Zone T-28?
Crazy One had a T-28 out there, and they're like, here, try it. Just get back in. Well, I was on the phone with Anthony before that saying, I think the only plane I've got flyable is my F5. And he's like, oh, don't fly that first time back. And I'm glad he said that, because I would have piloted him.
That's good advice. It's good advice, but what's cool, though, is I keep mentioning this accelerated learning program stuff, but I'm not sure it completely applies. So you flew the T-28, and then you flew a 64 millimeter fixed gear jet.
Yeah.
What was it? Just out of curiosity.
What was it?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's F-18.
The F-18.
Yeah, 64 millimeter F-18. Yeah, and I'd had that, for like 5 years ago or whatever.
That came from Ocean, didn't it?
Is that the free wing one or that Diamondback deal?
It wasn't the Diamondback. It's the Jolly Roger.
Okay, that's
I think
a free
I
wing.
think I bought it before Motion was in business.
Oh, you had that. Yeah, you had it for a while.
Well,
That's my second
okay,
one.
so back then they probably called it Blitzworks or something, but it was still free wing.
Yeah.
When Motion came along, they wanted companies to use their name
Yeah.
rather than this idea. You remember everything was Blitzworks. It didn't matter who made it. It was always it's too confusing. So, okay, 2 years, Park Zone T-28, success. The F-18, 64 millimeter EDF, success.
Yeah.
Third flight after 2 years is the free wing 80 millimeter F5 Demon. And you flew it like you never had a day off. Instead of like you had this 2-year hiatus. And I told Anthony right away in the comments because I watched it last night. You landed the F5 and I was like, son of a gun. I want to cut because it was good.
He happened to get the best landing, yeah. I got lucky coming.
Well, for me, it's opposite. Whenever I get my best landing, the camera's already put away. So I rewinded that thing and watched that 4 times after that. And then I turned up the volume because I want to hear what you're doing with your throttle. The nose was up perfect. Guys, go check out that video, man. I'm telling you, that landing is to die for. That's the goal to keep in your mind when you're out there flying. That's what you want your stuff to look like. That's what you want it to sound like. There's no one answer as to what throttle setting you need to get it done. It's just what the plane needs. And man, Ben, you nailed it, bro.
Oh, thanks, man.
That was super fun to watch. So fun to watch. And the fact that, that would be impressive regardless. But let's remind everyone, 2-year break. Third flight, Park Zone T-28, little lightly loaded 64 millimeter, and then, man, it's like a lead sled, that F5, and the sun was going down, and it was probably not the best light ever, and man, impressive. Super cool to have you back. Welcome back to the hobby, Ben. I want you to get in on this again when we have Dave Hawker here, and we're talking Warbirds over Grapevine. We'll discuss that more when we know more about it. I think all we have are the dates at this point. And man, I'm busy, dudes. I don't know what's going on unless I'm doing it hardly. So I got a few minutes. I'm gonna rip with you, Ben. First plane ever. What was it?
Super Cub. The Horizon Hobby Super Cub.
Okay.
Yeah. Crashed and repaired that sucker a lot. A lot of 5-minute epoxy on that thing.
That was
a lot of nose cowlings and props and
That was the brushed one with the nickel metal.
Oh yeah, the gearbox. Yeah,
man.
And a supportive wife.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
She bought it for me for Valentine's Day, like 6
That
years
is love.
Yeah.
So I think we might know the answer to this one, but what is the last one you flew?
That F5 flew that one.
What I thought.
Yeah.
And Anthony, I don't think I got to ask you. Did I? What was the last one you fixed?
Last one I fixed would have been just the other day. My little one of my go-to favorites when I just want to tool around is my FMS Sky Trainer. Which they just discontinued that one too. Tell you, they don't know what they're doing over at FMS.
Goodness sakes. What was the last one you fixed, Ben?
Last one I fixed. That little 64 millimeter F-18. I smoked the motor on it and just put a new motor in it yesterday. So
2 years later.
yeah.
It was dusty. He burned off the dust.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. So if 5 minutes, if you what's out there now that you don't have that you would want to buy next?
Wow. Well, you know, for a minute, Motion was putting out planes like hotcakes. So he kind of got behind. Now, some guys can keep up with this stuff. I have kids. I can't ride like I used to. But
that's why we slowed down for a minute. Let you catch your breath.
Just for a minute, yeah. Definitely want to do the F4 Phantom at some point. Haven't gotten that one yet.
Oh yeah.
Well, shoot, dude. You know what's funny is, and he knows this too well. I mean, right above us right now are about 6 planes in the boxes.
He's always got a bunch in the box. He has more planes than he has time.
So if I buy any, it's kind of a joke. I already have planes sitting right upside down, literally right above me, right here.
So okay, so out of those handful, what's the first one gets put together?
Let's see. Probably. Well, actually, one of them's already being done, and I can let the cat out of the bag. Tom, our buddy Tom's watching, so he kind of knows this, but didn't know it. He does know it. I'm building my first large plane. That's 101-inch Phoenix model Tucano.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really fun. And
that's tricycle gear, right?
Tricycle gear, yeah.
Turboprop, single engine.
Oh, it's phenomenal. So I'll be doing a video now, and I'm thinking of some creative ways to get that one out. But yeah, that's in the works right now.
That's awesome. Yeah. What about you, Ben? What's on your shopping list?
I really like the F4 Phantom, the 8S that Motion has. I like that a lot.
Yeah, man.
And I also like a smaller one, the 70 millimeter F16 in the snow camo, the black, gray, and white camo. I like that a lot with retract. Yeah.
Man, I tell you, they got every box ticked over there because.
Oh yeah.
The small one, the 70s. I really, there's a place for every bit of it, right? I love the 70s. I love the 80s. I love the 90s.
Yeah.
The 64s definitely have their place too. I think that's fantastic. Let's see. So,
Ryan, what did you fly last?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
With all this running around, I'm sure you're probably flying in between jobs.
I think, I wish. I think the answer to this question is the same as it was last week. I mean, it's that bad. What did we do? I think it was the Piper Cherokee, man.
The Cherokee,
the E-Flight Piper Cherokee, which is fantastic. Watch the video. It just dropped today. James released a video. We filmed it a week ago or something. And the opening shot is just so fun. I think I had just come off of doing, I really angled the whole video kind of towards the beginner, and then I'm like, okay, let's have some fun now. Right. And so I had the flap. I think I just shot a touch and go, had the flaps in, did a roll, did some like giant crazy vertical, and then a stall turn, and then a spin, and then slipped it into a like greaser landing, like first 5 seconds of the video.
Nice.
The plane is real. I might a little bit know what I'm doing, not too much, but that plane it is a lot of fun. So that was the last thing I flew.
What'd you fix last?
What I fixed last?
Oh wait, George's fixing the last one, right?
Yeah. When I asked George that question, it was a hoot because I already knew the answer. What he fixed last was my old Mirage, which didn't make it. I'm about to I need to fix the Cherokee, believe it or not, because the
nose gear maybe.
The prop is a slide on.
Oh,
and it got to where it was almost coming off.
Yeah.
And spun, and it bent the shaft. We were out of 3-cell batteries. We're like, let's get one more flight in, and I put a 4-cell in there. Which they say you can do. They say you can do it, but
it's a little rocket though, isn't it?
The plane doesn't need. It was a rocket for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If that, so the thing took off like a bat out of somewhere, and then the prop started coming off, but didn't come off all the way, but vibrated the snot out of the front of the plane. Right. The nose gear fell out, and the. So I just cut the throttle, and I made that thing's such a baby doll that I was able to turn around and land it still on two.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with the plane except I need to get a new shaft or a new motor plugged in there. But I stand behind that plane, and you know where to get it, motionrc.com. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. It's 10 o'clock. We could go all night long. We'll have to do this again. everybody who's come to the stream at Tired Iron Aviation's Facebook page. If you didn't get to watch it all tonight, it's going to be on YouTube channels, either George's or mine or both tomorrow once I get the files and can upload. Also, if you just don't want to see our faces, you can listen on the Anchor app, again, probably by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. So you can get your earbuds in and keep your wife happy, go clean the garage, mow the yard, and spend an hour hanging out in the RC Pilots Lounge.
All right.
Guys, we're loving it. We're having a great time. Ben, I'm glad you made it over.
Hey, yeah,
We
thanks
were
for
going to
having me.
Skype you in, but it just wasn't working out. George Baker, thanks again for hosting on your Facebook group and technologically helping me out, because I can talk, but I don't know this stuff. And we're getting it. And then I check out this microphone. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a nice mic. You're such a professional.
Cool mic.
Man, I was getting ready to buy one full price, and I got a buddy who used to stream games. He's like, man, I'm over it. I'm like, well, guess what? That, you know, if you want to learn how to do something, check out the kids, right? I mean, they'll
Right.
teach you. The dude
They
streams
know what they're
games.
doing.
Yeah, I had him helping me last night. So, guys, with that, hey, next week we got another show coming. George, I won't keep you long, man. We got another show coming on. We're going to have Chloe's RC Safari. So, Chloe and April from Chloe's RC Safari, I hope I'm saying that right. If all goes well, they're going to be on the show next week. They've come. I actually don't know a thing about them, and I'm very excited to get their story on their journey, because they've been very active in the hobby for the last, I'd say, year or so. But I really don't know much about them other than I think they're based out of Ohio and they're doing it right. I think they have a podcast as well, and we're going to drive traffic over to their sites as well. Just like that's what I want to do. Anytime I have somebody on who's pushing social at all of their own to help spread the goodwill and love of this hobby, I'm going to pump you up. And you know, you guys can find me and do the same thing as well. Hit Flying Ant's YouTube channel. Flying Ant Anthony, if you've got anything you want, other sites or platforms you want people to go to, get your YouTube channel game on, man. You can put the links in everything, all right?
I appreciate that. Yeah, you get hooked up on Instagram, so we'll get there.
We'll get there. So everybody go check out Flying Ant. You can find me easily on _Pilot Ryan on Instagram. DM me. We're having fun. That's where I put out the most content. But you guys know we got the YouTube channel. You can find us through Motion as well. Also, Facebook page, Pilot Ryan and Captain Mike's RC, your RC Air Training Command. I got so much going on, I can't keep it straight. If you only do Twitter, I'm there too, but really no one's on Twitter. Guys, thanks for watching. We're going to be watching the numbers on this one too, and I'm going to finally be able to go see your comments on the Facebook live stream that will be up and live as an archive on the Tired Iron Aviation group. With that, George, we're going to go in 5, 4,
Thank you,
3,
George.
2, 1. See you, everybody. Thanks so much. Next time.